I went through the selection process and was appointed a member of the board. I was a bit concerned about that because I've never done anything like that before, and I think I've been reasonably successful.
What would you say was kind of important about Ageless Thanet? What's been for you? What, you know, is it, you know, that's its worth, as it were? What would you say about that?
I think it's the opportunity, just the opportunity to become involved, rather than just leaving it to the professionals or local politicians or whatever, or council. It was nice just to feel that, yeah, might be able to influence things in some way.
Why do you think it's important, Alan?
I think very often people like myself, or likely most of the people that are involved in Ageless Thanet, what they want is not necessarily what the people that, certainly the local politicians and in some organisations, the organisers, what they think that we need is probably not what we need. A couple of guys wanted to run a Vogue cheese session or a series, where you did all the voguing, all the hand movements and posing and all sorts of stuff like that. Oh, that sounds interesting. I'll have a go. I ended up having my photograph taken on Margate Beach wearing a tuxedo and a pink chiffon scarf. It went on from there. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I learned a lot about myself. But, it was almost like, what's the best way to say it? In one of the sessions, we had to walk across a room in a very free or effeminate or whatever word you want to use it. And I found that I could do that, but as soon as I'd finished the walk and got to the other end, I switched through and I was back to being me. What that meant, I didn't know, but it enabled me to do all sorts of weird and wonderful things in my own life I would not normally do. And I think it was this aspect of playing a role. And I really liked that.
What I'm kind of picking up from the way you're talking, Alan, was that something, as you said earlier, about on opportunities that were somewhat different than what you would normally expect, dare I say, older people to be offered or even take up.
Yes, yeah, that's for sure. It's the same. I think on the Sheffield thing, we did a workshop, and it was they tasked me with running that. What I decided was that instead of just having a chat, I think the question was, what does it feel like to be happy, or something like that. And I think they were all sitting there and all thinking, oh, this is going to be good, you know, we'll be able to talk. I think, right, I don't want you to talk about it, I want you to draw it. And I gave each one of them a book. And some people were a bit slow in kicking off, but the time went just like that. It was absolutely fantastic. First time I tried that.
What was important to you about that? What do you think, looking back on the process of being asked to do that?
I enjoyed it. It was I was pleased and probably a little bit flattered that they wanted me to go.
I'm really, there are several things here, Alan. One is that do you feel you kind of got a place within Ageless Thanet? You know, it feels like a bit like home to your creative exploits.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I have been through sort of self-doubt sessions about all these other people are all involved with these committees and they know these councillors and all this. And I have none of that. I just go along as an individual with an interest in yeah, what I might be able to do for the local community.
But you feel that you've really valued that, and it does feel like that you've been, as you said, you're yourself within the whole program.
Yes, yep, yeah, yeah. I don't think I could put it any better. But also being with the governance panel, you know, you do have some input. I think the best example was probably sorting out the funding for the various projects that were going on, and we had to adhere to a set of rules and score on them.
If you were sort of like got your scorecard, or you were writing a report sheet on Ageless Thanet, what would be the sort of things that you would say about it that you think were important to its the characteristics that you think are important? What are the sort of things that would come to mind?
I think that if you go along to it, no, not an open mind, that sounds funny, doesn't it? It provides you with opportunities. Whether you want to take them or not that's something that maybe a lot of people in their 60s and 70s might not feel that, I should go and do vote cheer, or I should go and do silly things and that. But I think Ageless Thanet has given me that opportunity to still try things out, visit places, meet different people. But they can't make you do that. It's something that's got to be within you.
Is there anything, any kind of characteristic amongst the staff team or the program itself that you think has been really good about people trying things that's been different in Thanet?
Yeah. I think their ability to listen is probably the best thing. And it's I won't go as far as to say it's been a blast, but it's taken me to some places that I wouldn't have gone to otherwise. I've been to the Houses of Parliament, which I probably would never have done. And if I'd stopped and thought about it, I'd probably been to some other places as well.
I quite like the theme in our conversation is about boxes, and it seems to be what you seem to be saying is that people want to put older people in a box, about how they are and how they should be. And you are a wonderful example of someone who's out of the box, wants to get out of the box. Like, whoa, what box?
I'm in a box, but it's a conceptual one.
It's a conceptual box. I love it. I
can see it.
So if it were coming back to this theme of empowerment, is that something about how for people to see the box that they want to be in, and if they want to get out of it, fine. If they want to make it a very different kind of box, then that's fine. But it's all about helping people to see like who they are.
Yes. Yeah. And for a lucky few, they can realise lifelong ambitions. But I just imagine everybody's got a little list of things they wish they should have done when they were younger. But nothing to stop them trying now.
If you were to do like a conceptual piece about empowerment, what sort of things come to mind?
Wow. I like the idea of being in a glass box. That's the first thing. I also like the idea of being in a room with loads and loads of doors. And each one takes you to whatever. I don't know, you wouldn't know what was behind the door until you opened it and had a look. You open it, have a look, and think, oh, this looks interesting. I think that's pretty much what I do.
and it feels like a mixture of kind of the curiosity, the courage, and the confidence, just to open those doors, choose which one, and realize that there are those opportunities there. That feels like, from what you've been saying, I've heard you say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Without a doubt. Yeah. I think it's been good that that the people that have been involved with HLIS Summit they've been open-minded enough to let people like me be themselves. There was a degree of trepidation when I went onto the board. I wonder what they're going to turn me into. But they didn't turn me into anything. I don't know what it was. So.
I think you've I think they've had a richer experience for you being you, and that's been accepted both ways, if you sort of mean. It's been a sort of an exchange, a reciprocal exchange there. Yeah. That's
very kind of you. Thank you.
Well, I think it's true, and I'm sure that they would say that. But it's you being you, for what you bring, your perspective. I'm sure has really added to what their thinking and perspectives are. And I hope you go on challenging other people's perceptions of what older people, not only like, do, and who they are. Good for you. Good for you.
Sometimes I think just by being who I am and just talking to people, it makes them realise that it doesn't all stop when you're 30, 40, 50. It can carry on as long as you want.